Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I know we're a couple of minutes late. That's because Janice was, I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready
yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. So, how's everybody doing? We have a beautiful sunny day, as we can see. Jan's still trying to put the umbrella to a place that will help the
I don't know about that.
minimum success, right? That's good. Then, yeah, it's fine. Hello. Hey, guess what? If you can believe it, next Sunday is daylight savings time.
Oh my.
How'd that happen so quick? So remember to turn your clocks forward an hour. Okay? So, spring forward. So,
Forward.
we'll actually be starting at 9 o'clock as opposed to 10 o'clock.
Unless you change your clocks, then it'll be
Unless
10.
you change clocks beforehand. Yeah. Okay.
Look
All
what we
right.
got
When's
at the
St.
same
Patrick's
time.
Day?
It's the 17th, but we'll probably
okay.
be doing the wearing of the green then.
Okay. So
Next
we'll
week,
do-
next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
And next Sunday is probably the 1-year anniversary of being a COVID lockdown.
That's right.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
I
1
should've-
year.
1 year.
Oh,
My goodness.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but hopefully everyone is safe. You know, we know we've lost at least one person that pops in my mind that we lost to COVID during the year, from the church. So, and there's probably others that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So. All right. T-shirts and sweatshirts. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Joe. Hi, Lori and Daryl.
And Tracy was there. Some others I didn't acknowledge.
Yeah, I know.
I know you're there.
You know that little thing inside your head that keeps you from saying things you shouldn't? Yeah, I don't have one of those. I need to teach my facial expressions how to use their inside voice. That is my biggest problem. I know that like when I'm in situations, my face will I have to be very, very careful because my face will give me away. People have said that when I'm in audiences. And there's a speaker and he'll say something afterwards.
Me is the eye roll. I just can't stop that.
Hey, Beth. Hi, Marlena. If history repeats itself, I am so getting a dinosaur. And last, I don't care who dies in a movie, as long as the dog lives.
Yes.
True.
Dog must live.
That is true. Okay.
Some movies I won't watch a second time.
Oh, I
the
know.
dog died. I just can't do it.
I cried at Old Yeller. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah. No, that one was terrible.
This
was a kid's movie.
I know.
And it was like, no.
In the film Raiders of the Lost Ark, when Indiana Jones falls into the snake pit in Egypt, there is an image hidden among the wall's hieroglyphics of C-3PO and R2-D2. You know, the Star Wars guys. Robots. So, and that's, it's my understanding that when he fell into that pit, actually, the snakes weren't there. He had a glass partition, but it was very realistic looking. So, if you get a chance to watch that movie, see if you can see the petroglyphs.
We might have to do that.
Might have to. Things that make you go,
He makes me go,
That old law about an eye for an eye
Yes.
leaves everybody blind. Martin Luther King.
At least one eye sighted.
Yeah, Martin Luther King. Jealousy, that dragon that slays love under the pretense of keeping it alive. That's a goodie. This one is by Nelson Rockefeller. Wherever we look upon this earth, the opportunities take shape within the problems.
That's very true.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Growth demands a temporary surrender of security.
Oh, dang. I hate when
I
that
know,
happens.
I
But
know.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Darn it.
And life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage.
Interesting. You're very interesting.
Okay. There is pleasure in the pathless woods. There is rapture on the lonely shore.
True.
Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt.
Who said that one?
Abraham Lincoln.
Hey, you got it.
And Ralph Waldo Emerson. Trust men and they will be true to you. Treat them greatly and they'll show themselves great.
We try to do that.
We try. That one is from Mary. we'll do that one last. Oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, a friend of ours does stained glass. And she did a stained glass of Bernie that we just thought looked just like Phil, so we thought we'd better get it. Is this the cutest thing or what? Remember when Phil did the Bernie Sanders thing and sat here at the... Yeah, you can see the similarity right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Front
gosh.
and back.
Back of his head.
Cute. We like. It'll get hung in the church once we get back to the building, which I'm still saying June-ish. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
We'll take bets.
It'll be interesting getting back into the building. You know, because we try our very, very best to actually start our services at 10 here. But in the building, it's always been and will always be 10-ish. Yeah.
So we may start the church 10-ish and do song and whatever, and then start services maybe 10:30 for Facebook.
We're not sure how we're going to do things because we want to keep this Facebook thing going too. So
and they can't do music, so
yeah.
We'll have to do music before and then we'll do church and then wrap up with. I want to kind of do the energy circle. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We have a couple patrons saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Hey, George and John.
I believe in God, but not as one thing, not as the old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha and all the rest said was right. It's just the translations that have gone wrong. Which is kind of why Jan and I call ourselves followers of the way.
Yeah.
Have for quite some time. We don't even call ourselves Christians anymore.
Nope.
Just because.
Yep.
So, because of all the translations and the things they do in Christian belief. So, anyway. George, have you ever noticed that the lawyer always smiles more than the client?
Yeah. Because they get paid no matter what.
That's right. That's correct. Supposedly actual clippings from newspapers, church newspapers type stuff. Bertha Belch, a missionary from Africa, will be speaking tonight at Calvary Memorial Church in Racine. Come tonight and hear Bertha Belch all the way from Africa.
I'd change my name.
I would. Yes, I would. Announcement in the church bulletin for the National Prayer and Fasting Conference. The cost for attending the fasting and prayer conference includes meals. Our youth basketball team is back in action Wednesday at 8 p.m. in the Recreation Hall. Come out and watch us kill Christ the King. You know, just a little bit of editing. A little bit of editing might have helped. So.
Yikes.
Yep. And 55 is when you finally get your head together and your body starts falling apart. Or earlier or later. If you can't be a good example, then you'll just have to be a horrible warning. I like that.
Back to this one.
Mm-hmm.
You finally get your head together and your body falls apart. So somebody one day in services, my Bible kind of fell apart, and they said, "Oh, well, that's a good sign that your life is coming together when your Bible falls apart." It's true.
And this one's
I've gone through 3. I should have my set together by now, don't you think?
Roseanne Barr. I'm not going to vacuum until Sears comes with one that I can ride on. Okay. And these ones are from Mary. Thank you, Mary. A Pennsylvania man is suing Smart Water for not making him smart. I'd like to formally announce my lawsuit against Thin Mints.
Oh.
The worst thing about
attorneys will still get paid.
I know. The worst thing about returning to bars after COVID will be getting a standard 5-ounce glass of wine instead of the 25-ounce glass I have at my home offers. Home bar. Lasers were once a huge scientific breakthrough. Now we can use them to play with cats. Computers were once a huge scientific breakthrough. Now we can use them to look at cats. Conclusion. science was made for cats
Yep.
and dogs and animals. I mean, there's a channel that we've got on over-the-air TV that we found. I don't remember the name of it, but
TBD.
TBD. That's it. TBD. And
Can't remember shit.
all,
Sorry.
and all it does and when we turn on, in the evening, sometimes the only things that are on are animal videos.
One after another.
Yeah,
No
one after
commentary.
another. No commentary, no co-host, just one after another animal
All goofy.
video.
All goofy.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So, what else is going on? Anything I need to know about, or should I just leave?
I have no idea, Phil.
Okay,
Seems like there was something we were going to talk about.
probably. You forgot about it.
You
I'm
could
gonna
bring me more
take my
coffee.
I did. I did bring you
Yeah,
more
but I think
coffee.
it got cold again.
Again?
Yeah.
You talking again instead of drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Big problem.
No, it's not. So, just as a reminder, Jesus is just all right with me. So maybe that song will go in your head. I don't know if that happens to you or not, but somebody will say a song and there it is. It'll be there for a while. So, want to chat with you today about some interesting stuff. When Phil gets back with my beverage of choice. Hope you're having a beautiful morning this morning. Thank you, my beloved.
It's a good temperature. I
Let's
tested it.
check the phones before. Last
What
week,
difference does it matter? I mean, if they work, and they worked after services, so
Yeah, they were messed up for about 3 hours after services last time. If you didn't get to watch last week's message on Intensify, you might want to, because we built some energy fields here that the phone from here to
I mean,
the office,
our landline didn't work right.
they can't see you.
and
Get your shirt.
Our landline didn't work right, but our cell phones didn't either.
Didn't either.
It's the most bizarre
It's
thing.
just bizarre. So we really set up some energy fields last week. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that one, you might want to take a look at that, because that was pretty powerful stuff. And we have physical evidence of that. So anyway, hope that really blessed you well. I'm going to take a drink before this gets cold. All right. I think we need a new system here, Phil. But where would be the comedy relief in that? So I want to share with you a prayer for this morning. And then we'll get started. I'm kind of a little discombobulated this morning, so I hope that's all right. Well, it is what it is. So join me in prayer if you would, please. This one is a prayer to awaken. Maybe I should save this for next week, because we'll all be a little sleepy getting up an hour earlier. No, I'll do it today. Loving Spirit of light, awaken me to the sweetness of today. Whatever yesterday held, assist me in awakening to a new perspective. Whatever the weather, whatever my health, whatever my circumstances, reveal to me the sweetness you bestow to our world. Reveal to me the sweetness you bestow to me. Sometimes I miss it. I get distracted. Quiet my mind. Open my heart. Help me to see and experience this sweetness. In the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen. And here's the gratitude that goes with that. I'm grateful for my open heart and the new perspective it brings. So I want to chat with you today about power. Look at the power. And I'll tell you, this was really a tough week for me. Maybe even the last 10 days have been really tough. And I have slipped repeatedly back into powerlessness and feeling disempowered. And there were lots of different reasons for that. And some of that was just the whole COVID thing. And some of it was life experiences. An aunt passed away. And so I've been in contact with a cousin I haven't spoken to in quite some time. So old memories came up. And some of them were really sweet and good, and some of them weren't. And some of those memories got me derailed. And then I had a situation where I was misunderstood, or I misunderstood, whatever. So it was a conflict. And that really knocked me for a loop for a while. And it took me a while to forgive or feel the clear in that situation. It took a while. It's kind of like vacuuming. I was vacuuming yesterday, and it was vacuuming along, and all of a sudden the vacuum cleaner just wasn't working. So turned it off, turned it over, and all these little threads had gotten bound up in there. And that's what happens to us. We can't utilize the power that's there because we get all bound up by all these other things, these threads of thoughts, or threads of memories, or threads of worries, or threads of disharmony. And until we can stop and pull those out of there, it doesn't matter how many times we turn it on, or plug it in, unplug it, or plug it back in again. It's not going to work. Our lives aren't going to work if we're congested with stuff that bogs us down and takes our power from us. And the things that take our power from us can be so tiny. And we're off track. And getting off track is just heartbreaking. Because it takes a tiny little and we're gone. But it takes a huge amount of concerned effort to get back on track. Not that it's hard, but that it's so easy to just go down that road. Oh, I have a right to be angry. And if I have a right to be angry, then I'm going to go be angry. And I'm going to really wallow in that for a while, right? Don't we just love to do that? Why? Anger doesn't feel good to the body. It doesn't feel good to the mind. Doesn't feel good to the soul. And yet we just tend to wallow in that. Or wallow in somebody else's wrong. Or wallow in an old painful memory. We do that. And it takes conscious attention to shift out of that. And the call to that is so strong. It's just like an enchantment. And we get pulled so easily that way. And I could get clear for a second or two and then right back again. It was just crazy. But it took a while, and it took some time to really let it go in a positive way. Each of those things. And it was like a conglomeration of a bunch of things. And isn't that how life happens? We don't just get it one at a time. Oh, here, have a taste of that. Oh, fix that. Fine, move on. No, it's always a challenge, isn't it not? And usually if there's one, there's multiple. So it took a while to get into that place of forgiveness, forgiving myself, forgiving somebody else, in a place of letting it go, of releasing, of being clear, and getting back to the truth of who I am. Now, there was a part of me that still consciously knew I'm a child of light, I'm the living light of love expressed on this physical plane. I knew that. But my heart wasn't in it. My heart was down that path into the pit. And it took time and time again. But once I retracked myself, I got back on track for myself, my energy level was high, I felt really good, got a lot of stuff done. And I encourage everyone to take a look. Because that is such an enchantment, we're so drawn to feeling sorry for ourselves or being angry or being resentful or being bitter about something. That's such a suck. And it pulls us down. And once we get pulled into that trap, it's just really a challenge to draw ourselves back out of that. I venture to guess that we can't do it ourselves. We can't do it ourselves. There's a Bible verse I want to share with you today. Don't drop the umbrella again. And we probably should do something about the lights in here. I don't know. I keep thinking we'll go back to church services. I don't have to do that. But Philippians, 4th chapter, verses 12 and 13. You know, this whole 4th chapter is just really cool stuff because it talks about rejoicing, having a forbearing spirit, which is that forgiveness, talks about letting go of anxiety and being grateful. Just beautiful chapter. So if you read Philippians chapter 4, it would really be a blessing to your soul, especially if you're struggling with stuff. This one really helped me. But I want to bring your attention to verses 12 and 13. I know how to get along in humble means. I also know how to live in prosperity. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of being filled and going hungry, both having abundance and suffering need. Verse 13. Here's the kicker. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. That's power. That's power. I couldn't do this getting out of the pit of whatever I was in, malaise or anguish, whatever. I couldn't do that by myself. I had to pray about it and pray about it over and over and over and over and over. Because Janice Lynch wasn't strong enough. My will was not powerful enough. I needed help. And it had to come from a higher source. Phil can't help me. The dog couldn't help me. Cat was worthless. Well, could sit on my lap and purr. That was pretty helpful. But the truth of it is that I needed help that was beyond physical manifestation. It had to come from a spiritual source. Remember when we did the taking the core crystal out and giving it to Jesus? I did that. I did that over and over and over. And give the crudded up crystal that had absorbed all this pain and anguish, gave it to Jesus, and he'd give me a fresh one. And man, that would get clogged up really fast because the brain wasn't done processing all that stuff out. And it would get clogged again. I'd give that up, put a fresh one in. It wasn't getting clogged because I was wallowing in it, but a new layer would come to the surface, a new layer for me to look at. And those things come to the surface because we're ready to look at them. So rather than begrudging them, saying, oh man, I've got to deal with this again. I thought I was over through with it. No. Be grateful that you're strong enough now to access a higher level of power to be able to deal with this new level that you just became aware of. And in that, there is so much freedom. Because once I processed that, I had a new perspective on all of it. Of who I am, what my path is, what my journey is, and other people and the role they play in that. And I could notice it with grace. I could notice it with this space of power. And in that space of power, I didn't need judgment. I didn't need to judge me. I didn't need to judge them. I could be at peace with it. It was beautiful. Now, power is one of the super energies that comes along when we're tapping into our superpowers. I mean, we've been talking about superpowers for a while. Excuse me. So the 6 superpowers that we've been talking about, and then there's 6 sacred energies. So let me just review. One of the 6 superpowers are gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, honor, courage, and expanded awareness. When we can utilize those, wow. And I tell you, it took all of these superpowers to get me through this last 10 days. So gratitude, being grateful for where I am, being grateful for how much I've come through so far. Kindness, because I remember telling myself, look what you've come through. You can get through this too. You've been through a lot of physical stuff. You've been through a lot of emotional stuff. You can get through this processing stuff right now. You can do this. Kindness, being kind to myself, kind to others. Remembering the kindnesses that have been done to me. Tapping into that kind energy even when I didn't feel it because I was so stuck in the bleh. Forgiveness. That's a big one. I worked on that one a lot. Honor. Honoring where I am, honoring where the other person is, honoring where that situation was way back when. I needed all of that. Courage. Took courage to look at that stuff. It was so easy to stay angry and stay hurt. Easy. Took courage to look at it in a new way and let that go. and be true to myself, be true to my calling, be true to my destiny, which has nothing to do with sorrow and pain. And then expanded awareness, I think, was the key to all of it. Because I could expand my awareness to perceive things that were beyond the physically evident in the moment. So the sacred energies that emerge when we utilize our superpowers are abundance. Get abundant stuff. Love. Man, beautiful stuff. Peace. Boy, isn't that a beautiful thing? Hope and grace. Power and joy. So let me read to you. I've gone through each of those superpowers and I've added the super energies, an identification with each one. So power and gratitude, how they work together. Stop and notice. Your attention to gratitude guides great power into the situation. It does. It did. I needed it. And that gratitude really blessed me because I couldn't break free without it. So next is kindness. When you have gratitude, then kindness is just kind of an outcropping from even the gratitude, even though it stands alone on its own. So kindness with power. Your strength grows when guarded by kindness. Be kind to yourself first. Move on. And that's what I did. I was kind to myself, and then I could move beyond whatever that stuckness was. Forgiveness. Your strength lies within your capacity to release old hurts. Be strong. Be free. And that's what happened. Power with honor. Action taken from a place of truth moves you forward now. Find your truth. That was one of the big keys for me, is I had to find my truth in the situations. And there were several. And they all kind of compounded one another. But if I could find my truth, then I could move freely past them. I was free of it. Courage and power. Power flows through a courageous heart. I could tap into a power that was greater than mine. It flowed through me. Yes, I had courage, but more courage came. I had the power to access more than I was physically capable of bestowing upon myself. Your true power awaits with your intent, within your intent. My intent was to get clear. My intent was to get reconnected with divine source. My intent was to get back on track, back on my path. And I fulfilled that. Here's power with expanded awareness. You bless others with gifts divinely given. You're worthy. Show up. I couldn't show up when I was in a place of pain. But when I could step out of that, I could show up and I could be a blessing. It was beautiful that even though I was struggling myself, there were several opportunities this week for me to be a blessing. And so I was. And there was also opportunities for people to bless me, and they did. It was beautiful. It was totally needed. So I'm happy to say I seem to be back on track, at least for the moment. My vacuum cleaner roller is all clean and ready to go. I'm ready to pick up and move on and clear the pathway for myself. But I have help to do that. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Now, let me give you this one little aside. We can do all things that are required of us. But there's a lot of things that we put ourselves through that are not required of us, that our heart just can't get behind, and we'll roadblock ourselves. And finding the truth and putting our heart's desire into an activity can move us through. I remember having a job that I didn't like. And I would cry every morning on my way to work because I just didn't like it. And cry on my way home. Didn't like this job. And I had to do it when we first moved here. I had to do it in, I think I was there 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. And I did it. And I relied on strength that was greater than myself to do it. I did a really good job. But it wasn't the job for me, and I knew it. I was even offered a full-time position at the end of my temporary stay, and I didn't want it. I knew it wasn't right for me. It was kind of an ego boost to know that I was wanted, but it wasn't right for me. And my heart wasn't in it. And if your heart's not in it, it's going to be anguish to do anything. So find a way to get your heart into it. If it's something that is necessary for your experience right now, find a way to get your heart into it. I loved my family. I loved my home. I think we were homeless at the time. We were living with family. I loved the idea of having my own home again. And that got me through. So even though I'd cry up a little bit, I'd go, take a deep breath, and I'd suit up and show up for that job. People thought I was really liking it because my heart was in it when I was there. And when I could step away from that job, I could let go. My heart was not in it, but my heart was dedicated to doing what was necessary to get us through some really difficult financial times. And maybe that's what's going on with you in some aspect. Find a way to get your heart into it. And then this power from divine source that can flow into you and give you the strength to do whatever's necessary. You've got this. You could do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do a job that I despised, that really creeped me out, actually. I'll tell you about that maybe some other day. If I can do that, and if I can dig myself out of this anguish, self-imposed anguish, you can. Maybe not by yourself. I certainly couldn't. I had to rely on the spiritual tools that I knew and the spiritual gifts from divine source. It was teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. So I'd like to share with you a guided meditation. Is that what I want to do next? Anything else I need to say? I think that's it. I want to take you on a guided meditation. So let's do that next. Excuse me. So just be here. Whatever's going on in your world is going on in your world. That's okay. Be here now. Right in this moment, you're here. And maybe you're watching this 10 days from when it was recorded. You're here right now. This is this now moment. This is the moment in which you have power. This is the moment in which you can access power greater than yourself. That can and will assist if you ask. Move into your heart space. Just notice your heart space. Be here. And from your heart space, bring your attention down to the bottoms of your feet. There's little energy portals at the bottoms of your feet, and they open kind of like the eye of a camera, both feet, bottoms of your feet, pretending these are your feet. Excuse me. And as those open, two things happen. First thing that happens is all of the heavy energy that we've been carrying with us, doubt, worry, fear, sorrow, loss, frustration, struggling, all of that just falls out. It's heavy. It's heavy energy. And when we bring our attention to our heart space first and then open these portals, then even though a lot of that energy is cluttered in our mind and we carry it in our body, it just falls out the bottoms of our feet because it's heavy. It takes intent to carry it. But we're so used to carrying it, we're so used to being spun up, we're so used to being in anguish that it takes a moment to shift our conscious awareness, our expanded awareness, to allow that to fall away. So, just noticing from the heart space, noticing the bottoms of your feet are open. Now bring your awareness to your mind and to your body. So our body will hold trauma, our body will hold pain, our body will hold stress. And sometimes those are old, decades old. Some of the stuff that came up for me were decades old. Oh, good Lord. I had no idea we'd been carrying that crap around that long. But as I became mindful of it with this expanded awareness, and I could look at it with compassion, I could look at it with kindness. And as I did that, then it would just fall away. until a new layer came to the surface. And then I would look at it again and it would fall away. Now let's amplify that. We're still in process 1. Let's amplify that process by bringing in the living light of love to help. So there's a portal at the top of your head. If you open that, then that grants you access to many portals over your head. And they're all different variations of an energetic structure that can assist you. And you'll intuitively know which one is right for you today. So maybe it's the golden portal, or maybe it's a blue portal, or silver portal, or iridescent, or pink. Whatever color or vibrational energy you access is what's necessary for you today, which is vital for you today to help you get clear and help you get connected and help you access this power. So whatever you're perceiving, tap into that. And as you tap it with your awareness, this expanded awareness, then energy flows. Now, energy is always flowing. But with this tap of your awareness, more flows in. And as this new energy flows in, it displaces all of that other crud stuff. And let it just flow through your mind and let it touch your eyes and your discernment centers and your ears and your mouth, your throat, your truth center, your heart space, your shoulders. Carry a ton of crud in our shoulders, don't we? And let it flow into your arms and your hands. Let it flow through your torso. Let it touch all of those chakra centers, all those energy centers. And let it flow down into your legs and down into your feet and down through your feet into the earth. So this is like the sweep of energy. Just let that sweep through you and sweep out all these cobwebs of old sorrow, old pain, current frustrations, current fears, and just let it sweepy right through you. Now at the same time, the second part of this energy portal at the bottoms of your feet is that it connects us and grounds us. You notice the stones on my fireplace here? They're that earth energy, that strength energy. So we inhabit this earth because there's the mantle of strength here. And you can tap into that mantle of strength and draw it up into your body. And it's like putting on a cloak of strength, like putting on a superpower cloak, being a superhero. You're a superhero in your own life. So allow yourself to be aware of the strength that's been gifted to us and bring that into your heart space and then through your whole being. So you're being clear and you're being strengthened at the same time. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that wonderful? Now let's take a little walk in our guided meditation here. I'd like you to take a walk and find your way to a sacred garden. And you'll notice whether the garden has a gated entrance or not. Maybe you just find yourself, in the middle of the garden. Just allow yourself to be wherever you are, however you enter, just allow that to be. And notice the garden. And in the garden, it's springtime. So there's things to be done. There's things to be done in this garden to make it flourish. You notice an area that needs to be tended. And so you're going to go to that space. And what do you see that needs tending? Pick one of these or see what shows up for you, what you see in your awareness. Do you see weeds? Do you see debris, like leaves and old stuff from last year? Or do you see, is it barren? Does it need plants? Is it just empty? Which do you see? This part of the garden needs attention. What do you notice? Is it weedy? Does it have weeds? Is it full of debris? Or is it barren? Which do you experience? Now you go to the tool shed and you're going to find a tool. Which tool comes to your awareness first? Is it a hand shovel, a rake, or clippers? A hand shovel, rake, or clippers. Pick one of those. or see which one appears for you. Now you're going to go back to your little garden and you're going to do some work there and spruce up, do whatever is necessary to do. Take a moment to do that and notice that you have been visited by, or you have been joined by the master gardener. And he's already got stuff nearly done. And you're just here to help. You're just here to do your part, whatever your part might be. Maybe your part is just to show up. And so as that's being done, you notice that there's some new growth. Already new growth. Do you see a rose or a flower beginning to bloom? Do you see a fern coming up and opening up? Or do you see a tree that is sending out leaves? Which do you see first? Rose or flower being that's ready to bloom? Or a fern that is opening up? Or a tree? After the work is done and you notice the growth, now you're looking around and the master gardener has placed a garden item here for you. Are you given a garden gnome, a bird bath, or path lights? Which do you see? Which are you gifted with as a blessing for your garden? A garden gnome, a bird bath, or path lights? We're going to get back to this in just a minute, and I'm going to give you the information about what this might mean. But for now, just notice and enjoy how beautiful it feels to be in this garden that's lush and is growing and is healthy. And notice that as the garden of your heart is also healthy and revitalized and refreshed. Allow yourself to take this energy back with you. This energy of growth, this energy of clarity, this energy of restoration. Bring that back with you as you walk back through the garden, back into this time and space, back into the here and now. I'm going to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath and exhale. Might want to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Welcome back. Mr. Phil, if you join me out front, we'll do communion, and then I'll get back to describing what the different aspects of that meditation might mean for you. Here he is. He's back.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Communion. This is a symbolic ceremony that allows us to access the living light of love in our day-to-day life. This allows us to tap into that power that's available to us. So join us, if you would, in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we take this into our body, help us to take in life and help us to take in power through your divine source to help us navigate our journey. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life. All of it, whatever aspect we are facing right now. And we ask that you strengthen us and you give us the power through the power of the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen. And
We
I'm
are
sure,
so blessed.
Beth already did the donation.
Thanks, Beth. Oh, yeah. We still have a building. In fact, we have roof work that needs to be done.
Yep.
So I need to get with. Actually, we'll be for the board members. We need to get together and talk about that outlay and cash. So anyway, we are so lucky though. When Jan and I, before we started the church, when we thought we might want to do that, we actually went and talked to we only went to one other church because we knew they were looking for a pastor. And we talked to them, and We
I
are
never know what he's
so
gonna say.
blessed that they didn't want us, or Janice. Actually, it didn't want Janice. So, but we found out that they do their services. They've got this great big book, and that's where they pick their services from. So even though a lot of people think the pastors make all the stuff up,
They have a
unless
guidebook.
unless it's a truly independent church, and there are some of those around. Otherwise, if it's associated with another church of any sort, they have to follow guidelines and have a book.
That wouldn't have lasted very long in
No.
that circumstance.
No.
And look at all the fun stuff we get to do.
Yeah, we can do anything we want.
Yes, we can. How fun is that?
So,
Very
okay,
fun. All right,
I'm
so.
out of here. Elbow.
Oh goodness. Let's see if these things work this week. Are you ready, Mr. Phil?
No.
Yeah.
There he is. See, it works. We didn't do anything different this time. Okay.
Yep.
So, I probably should go through what the general stuff is first. Let me hang up on you, Phil. And I'm going to give you just the overview of what I'd already designated. Then if there's any other questions, then you can let me know, okay? So if you in your garden, what needs tending relates to what action is necessary for you to take right now. So if you saw weeds, this is letting you know that worry and negative thoughts might be an issue for you to take a look at. If there was debris, like old leaves and last year's plants and stuff, that's old sorrows that are here for you to take a look at, not as punishment, but as now you're ready. You're strong enough now to look at this stuff and just get it out of the way. If it was barren or your garden needed plants, the action necessary to heal is you need a plan. It's time to get a plan, time to get a hope, time to get a dream, time to get an intent. And with that, inspiration will follow. So this is a teamwork between you and Divine Source. Know that you get to take a look at what your heart's desire is, what that it might be, and with that create an intent. And from that, you'll have the inspiration and guidance to move forward. So if you received a tool, whatever tool you received relates to how to do what you came here to do. What was the answer to the previous question? If you received a hand shovel or chose a hand shovel, it's time to get to the roots. Dig the roots out. Get it done once and for all. Okay, makes sense? So dig in. Dig in. If you received a rake or chose a rake, it's time to release old stuff. Let it go. There's plenty of processes that we do to help let go. There's tapping processes and emotion code processes. There's lots. If you need help, ask for help. Because this releasement does not need to be difficult. It can be when we try to do it alone. But again, you have resources and help spiritually and on this physical plane with people who can assist in letting the old stuff go. Including that process where we did the core crystal. That's one of my favorites. If you received clippers, it's time to shape up your intent. Get really clear. What's your heart's desire, really? What are you here for? What would you like to be here for? What are you doing, for heaven's sake? What are you doing for this earth's sake? How is heaven manifesting itself within you? That's what the clippers signify, is getting clear on those things. Again, sometimes we don't have those answers. Ask for them to be revealed to you. And then ask for help. That's what it's all about. Remember, you had the master gardener come to help you. You're not alone. And spiritual insights and awarenesses will come to you. So whatever started growing next was what your results are going to be as you do these processes. So if you had a rose or a flower that was starting to bloom, this is letting you know your results are you're going to really bloom. You're going to really shine. It's time to open up. And you are. That's the result. Is that you'll be able to really be who you are and be true to who you are. If it was a fern, it's time to reach new goals. So set some new goals, reach for them. Have you ever seen a fern? Excuse me, vitamins. Oh. Have you ever seen a fern, they open up, they kind of unfurl, and then they have all the fronds that open up. It's beautiful stuff. As you're opening up, you're reaching for new goals. You're reaching for new insights, new heights, new spiritual heights. So as you reach for them, so it will be. The tree is asking you to get grounded and then help others. Because a tree has these deep roots, reaches to the heavens, and then it offers shade. It offers protection for the birds. It offers food for the birds. It's here to assist others. The gift that you were given is a blessing that you're here to receive. So if you received a garden gnome, you get to be joyful in what you're doing. It gets to be fun. It gets to be enjoyable. Did you receive a bird bath? If you did, then this is the refreshing of your soul. We all have a soul song that emanates from us at all times. And sometimes that gets clogged, like the vacuum cleaner roller bar there gets clogged with these other things. But if you receive the bird bath, then you're going to be refreshed. You'll have a bright aspect, a bright perspective now, and you'll be able to utilize your soul song and really, really have a refreshed soul that is going to just express itself beautifully. Did you receive path lights? If you received path lights, this allows you the ability to guide the way. You're a leader. You came to lead. So lead yourself, and that is a light shining brightly on the path that others can follow, can be assisted by. Okay, so now if there's any additional questions, let's see. I'll check in with Mr. Phil.
Yeah.
Yes, was there anything additional to that?
Let me look. I didn't look at the last couple minutes. Marlena said the whole experience today has been powerful. Meditation today was in a beautiful garden cemetery with a barren patch. I used a hand shovel, and there was a budding fern. There was a bird bath, and I sprinkled fairy dust everywhere.
Okay, so let me run that down.
I know.
It's wonderful to read these all together. I think that just pulls everything together nicely. So it was a barren patch. So, oh, you're making squeaky noises, honey.
No, I'm not.
The phone is making squeaky noises, honey.
Okay.
Anyway, so the action necessary to heal is to create a new plan and to create a new heart's desire so that you can be an inspiration. The hand shovel allows you to get to the roots of old situations and clear them out. The fern allows you the ability to reach the goals that you're looking for. And what did she receive last?
Hand shovel with a budding fern, and there was a bird bath, sprinkled fairy dust everywhere.
So this is a refreshing of your soul. I'm reminded of the Bible verse, times of refreshing are from the Lord. So allow yourself to receive that refreshing. And then the sprinkling of the fairy dust as it gets to be fun. And others in your field of influence are blessed by your journey. Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
Wonderful. Make my world easy. Again, if you have any other questions or comments, just go ahead and leave them. And I will get back online and I will acknowledge your presence. So anyway, if there isn't anything else, Mr. Phil, if you join me up front, please.
Okay.
I'll be glad when we can get back together and do energy circles as we close. and songs. Usually Phil has this uncanny ability of picking songs that are quite inspirational for us. So,
Well, at least I did.
oh, you don't think use it or lose it?
Well, I don't know.
He's got the power. All right, so rub your hands together really, really fast. This builds that energy, just like the bottoms of your feet. Your hands have energy portals, and we're going to access them, bringing that fresh light in from divine source. Let it touch the heart space. Left hand to right hand, back to the heart space, and let that energy build. And as that energy builds, this builds an energy sphere of light. And whether you see it or feel it, what doesn't matter, it's still there. And perhaps there's someone in your circle of influence that could use healing or comfort or encouragement, clarity. And you have within your power the ability to share this energy. I don't know about you, but I can really feel this energy in my hands. So be mindful of that person. And as you're mindful of them, send this energy to them. Let it go. Don't want any psychic backwash. Bringing fresh energy into your heart space. Left hand to right hand, back to the heart space. Letting fresh energy build again. And as this bright, clear energy builds, know that this is here to strengthen you. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're looking at, this grants you the power. This strengthens you and empowers you to stay clear, to stay true to your path, to stay connected. Bringing that into your heart space. And may you be a blessing as you emit that energy out into the world. God bless. We will see you next time.
Get your hand in the ground today.
Yeah,
Play in the dirt.
Play in the dirt. We could do that. God bless.
Bye.